ladies.
Hello.
Hey, good to see you guys. Good to see you
Good to see you.
all. Yeah. So, welcome to Brand Rewind Live. It is October 27th. Thank you so much for once again joining us for this fun conversation. I'm Denise Kegler, and my company is MDK Brand Management, and I'm coming from you from a not too typically warm this time of year, Boston, Massachusetts. I think we hit about 70 degrees today. Whoa, woo.
I know. Warm for us, right, in this part of the world. And I'm Patia Abdurazak with the Stylista Group, and I'm coming to you from an equally warm Harlem.
I don't know, Barika. Do you want to go next? I keep hearing the word warm, and that's not how it is here.
Okay, I'll go. Hi, everyone. I'm Barika Phillips Bell. I'm with B3 Media Solutions, and I'm coming to you from a very warm, sunny California with a 80-degree temperature.
That's nice.
And I'll kick it over to you, Zoe.
Here we go. oh gosh, is she frozen?
I know, Zoe.
Zoe, are you there?
She's frozen, literally, because it's so cold.
She's frozen. We were anticipating she was going to say cold temperatures, and now she's actually frozen. How funny! So
No,
hopefully,
this is actually her Halloween costume.
oh no! So hopefully she will unfreeze
Right.
any moment now. But speaking of Halloween, so Halloween is coming up, spooky on Monday. And we were talking among the four of us, talking about Halloween costumes. And I don't normally dress up, but last time I dressed up was probably 3 or 4 years ago. But let's say if we were to dress up, is Zoe back?
Yeah,
I'm
she's
back.
Oh, okay, Zoe.
I don't know what that was, but
You froze.
You froze, literally.
I'm back. Sorry to interrupt, Denise.
No, go ahead.
Just in case everybody didn't hear, I'm from Toronto, Canada. Zoe Mitchell of Sharp Processes, and glad to be back.
Yes, we thought we lost you. Glad you're back. So we were talking. Barika mentioned Halloween or costume Halloween, and so that takes us to thinking about what would we dress up as if we were to dress up, and at least two of us here don't dress up on Halloween, but just for the sake of fun, if we did, what would we dress up as? And I would invite, by the way, our viewers to weigh in and send us a comment in the chat, whether or not you actually dress up. If you could pick one costume that you would wear, what would it be? So share it with us. And by the way, while I'm talking about sharing, also let us know that you're there. Give us a shout out so we can give you a shout out. And tell us your name and where you're from so we can say hi to you. All right. So, ladies, let's go around. Barika, what would you dress up as? Oh, are you actually dressing up? I think.
Well, I'm gonna dress up because I'm gonna take my daughter to a trunk or treat little party that we're having in our area. So I'm gonna dress up because she asked me if I would dress up like her, and after narrowing it, like I bought like 5 costumes. And after narrowing it down, she decided to be an angel. So we're going to go as angels.
Oh, that's so
cute.
That's cute.
Well, I can share I'm on the opposite end of that. My daughter has decided at the age of 13, she's done.
He's over it.
She has moved on. Unlike Marika.
Right.
So if I had to, I would definitely choose a Black Panther character, just because the movie, the next part 2 is coming up in a couple weeks. I have a special viewing that I'm excited to go to, and I would choose a character from there.
Yeah.
That's good. That's pretty good.
That's a pretty good choice.
Tia, what's your choice?
You know what? I think Catwoman. I've always liked all the different versions of Catwoman have just been amazing.
I love it.
I usually don't dress up, but I think I would be Catwoman if I did. Yeah.
That's so funny because I was thinking the same thing between your choice and Zoe's choice, it would be one or the other. I tell you, one of the things. So when I did dress up when my kids were younger, and I took them trick or treating, and if I dressed up, and oftentimes I would just probably throw a mask on or
Right,
something,
right. That's what I do.
crazy makeup on, but not. But I always thought about being warm and comfortable
Right.
while walking around. So Catwoman, any character from Black Panther, because you're going to be head to toe covered up. And in New England, you absolutely
You have to. You have to.
I mean, you're already out there walking. God knows how long.
Right.
You're in the cold. You got to be comfortable shoes and comfortable clothes. So.
But
Yeah.
ladies, I have a costume that I wanted to share with you guys that I think I would love to show you both.
Oh,
This is our costume.
I love it.
I don't know if you've seen this internet meme, but I made a Brand Rewind Live Posters costume, podcasters, and the podcast is sold separately, however. But
oh my gosh, that is awesome.
That we should put that out there and play along.
that is great. That is amazing.
That is awesome.
As my daughter would say.
Maybe we can sell it. Do you think?
I know. You never know.
Exactly.
Next year's costume.
2023.
That's awesome. So let's get some shout outs before we move to our first segment. So we got Pop Research. Hey, Pop Research. We've got Fawn. Hey, Fawn from Brooklyn. We've got Gail Jackson. Hey, Gail, my good bestie friend here also in Boston. Thanks so much for joining us. Ladies, we've got an exciting, fun show. A lot going on this week to dish about. And we got that one big topic. We're going to save that for last. Absolutely for last. So for now, Patia, you're kicking us off, right?
Yes, I have a feel-good story, actually really cool. So I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Ariane Simone. She is one of the founders of the Fearless Fund. And so in case you're not familiar, the Fearless Fund helps African Americans, specifically women, to gain capital, right? So that they can grow their businesses. And they also help them with training and, covering all of the divides that exist when it comes to racial inequities in that space. So she's an amazing woman. So she actually built a school in the Ivory Coast in collaboration with an organization. I want to get this right. It's called Proceed Foundation. And the name of the school is the Fearless Academy. And it opened on October 19th, and it offers classes from elementary school grades 1 through 6. And so on her way there, and I follow her on Instagram, on her way there, she got a call saying, be ready when you land. There's going to be somebody waiting for you, hair, makeup, because she was actually crowned queen of the village that the school was built in. Look at that. That is absolutely beautiful.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous.
So she was crowned Queen Wa, which means the blessing. And so she had a traditional African coronation, which I think is absolutely amazing. And she had no idea that this was going to happen. Like, she was just going to open the school, regular, ribbon cutting ceremony. That's all she thought she was going for. And she left there being a royal. I think that is amazing. Can you imagine?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And, we talk about branding on this show and personal brands and people staying true to their brands. And I think that it's really great that she's expanding her efforts internationally, because she's very well known here in the space, the venture capitalist space. And she's constantly speaking about providing opportunities for people of color. And it's just great that she's also expanding that worldwide, because, we're becoming more and more global citizens. It's not only country by country. And so I think that this is just a great example of somebody who takes their brand mission really seriously, right? And what a great way to really help the next generation, right, to prepare themselves for success. So it's just a really great story. I mean, now that she's a queen, can you imagine, you guys? It's just amazing.
I love it.
That picture is everything. Like, she was so regal, so beautiful. So I love it.
Inside and out. You can tell, right?
Yeah, you can tell. Exactly. Exactly.
Wow, and the colors are just so bold.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
look
it's
at that, and
gorgeous.
and they match our colors, our
They
brand.
do.
Good. Yeah. What's
Love that.
yeah, yeah. Good
Great, great, great
choices.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a great
Okay,
story.
so
Thank you.
Zoe, what do you have for us?
Well, I have part two to your brand story.
Okay.
Yeah, so thank you. I chose this story again, a similar line of a personal brand, and it's something that we don't see every day. A pediatric neuropsychologist, Dr. Nevada Monroe, she combined what she would call her love of water with her passion for science and the desire to again give back to a community. So she chose Black girls to give back to and opened Black Girls Dive Foundation. And so
Wow.
what they do is mixing sciences and self-esteem. And so she opened this in Maryland. And every week they go into a public pool and they're taught how to scuba dive. They're taught about sciences, they're taught about environmental factors. And what she found is not only do they develop their own love of water, but they also increase their self esteem. They
Mm.
take that self esteem and put it into the other work that they're doing in school, into what they want to aspire to. And what they found is that all of them are graduating her program and going to college and being successful at what they're doing because of the development that they're getting. So
Mm,
I think that, if we talk about history, historically, Blacks weren't even allowed in pools.
Right.
mm,
Not only do we have this doctor who loves diving, what are the chances? But the average doctor doesn't start a business or a company on the side. And I think it's just so powerful that she's a doctor by day, and then by night she's lifting girls in her communities.
Yeah.
So
wow.
she now has 4 locations, so 2 in Maryland, 1 in Georgia, and 1 in New Jersey. And every year they culminate all the work that they've been doing and go on a trip. So these children are
Nice.
also being exposed to something outside of their normal environment. So they go to Bahamas, and there's a quote that they say that I loved, and it's called "Sinking low to reach new heights."
Oh, that's
That was
amazing.
powerful.
Wow. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it made me feel so good. So I had to share
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just another example of a great brand. So
Yeah.
kudos to her.
Yeah. No, it
Wow.
is. Where did she find the time?
I
My,
I
don't,
know.
I don't know any doctors that have that much extra
Right.
time.
Right.
I'm never complaining again about not having time. Wow.
I don't
Is
know.
she just traveling between them, or does she have like a team of people that
I
are
think they
kind
have
of
teams. Yeah, so
okay?
even in the pools, she has scuba divers
Okay.
actually doing the training. So
Pretty
she's there at
cool.
some of them, and she's participating because she loves to dive. She said it brings her calm. So when
Mm.
she's having her stressful days, she goes out and she dives and she brings the calm.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Did you say the ages of the average age of
It
the
sounds like they are early teens to late
Mm.
teens.
Okay.
Yeah. But she's like, all of them are graduating and they're getting into their college programs and thriving. And it's building that confidence that they
That's
can
great
tackle
because
stereotype and go about,
right.
like,
Right.
phobia of water is big.
exactly?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
That's
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
What
So,
a what a great essay, like college application essay that those
yeah,
kids write for
yeah.
about
yeah,
And I
experience.
love it that they travel out of it too, because
yeah,
the more we can experience the world, like, I mean, we're talking about
Absolutely.
inclusion and all this
absolutely.
work. It's
Yeah.
fantastic. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that was my feel good story number 2.
That's
Denise, what do you got for us?
We are full of feel good stories
I think
today.
we need to.
I, well,
I was like, we're front
doing
loaded.
everything else that's going on. Yeah.
Front loaded.
we gotta lift
We
it up.
gotta
to our
ease
last
into the
story.
drama.
Yes.
So how about we go with the sisters to the summit? Let's all go with the sisters to the summit. So what a great story if you haven't already heard. So this story, I saw it on CBS Mornings a couple days ago. It's a story about 14 Black women who made history 2 weeks ago when they climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. And it's a funny story. It's a great story. It's a great feel good story. if you just a little bit of history for those of you who don't know about Mount Kilimanjaro, and I'm going to read some notes here. It's the largest freestanding mountain in the world, the tallest in Africa, 19,000 feet. It's the size of about 54 football fields.
Oh,
Wow.
So it took 8 days for these 14 women to complete their climb. What was interesting, well, there's so many interesting points about this story, but two of them, and this would be me, two of them had to back out and go back down because they had altitude sickness.
right.
And
Yeah.
they described it. Oh my gosh, I wanted to puke listening to them talk about some of the issues that they encountered, and they tried to push through it, and they couldn't. They had to leave. But here's a clip that I found just so cool and so funny from CBS Mornings. Check it out.
That worked for you. So we decided that we wanted to give ourselves the best chance to summit. And so we decided we weren't going to carry our day packs. We were just going to roll with our trekking poles and our water. So our snacks, our first aid, everything went with our personal porter. So somebody's carrying it. Someone's carrying it, which is very unique on the mountain because everybody who is climbing the mountain, they're in it, salt of the earth kind of people, granola. And we were the only group. We were the only.
All right.
There we go. Come on. Oh, did it freeze?
It froze.
And it froze. Technology. What can you do about it? What she was about to say.
Someone walking beside us carrying our backpack. How many quarters did you have?
Can we see?
72 quarters. That would be me.
So they were asked between Nate and Gail and Tony, the women were asked about their gear because they obviously had a lot of gear, and they said, "Oh, we didn't carry our own gear." And we had porters, and the porters were great, and they were really giving the porters a lot of kudos. And the question was, well, how many porters did you have? And now there are 14 of them. They had 72 porters carried all of their gear up the mountain. It was
That is hilarious.
That is hilarious. I mean, like 72?
Sounds like a movement.
Like, how much gear did they have? Like, I
Yeah.
have a feeling they had a lot of stuff that they didn't necessarily need to carry with them, right? Like, what?
Well, you know us. Like,
Exactly. well, what was funny is because you saw they were all glammed up. First of all, they're all gorgeous, beautiful, and they were all glammed up in their high heel shoes. And Gail, or one of them, mentioned the high heels. Because, to your point, what's in those bags? I mean, were they glamming on the mountain? And they did talk about taking showers. And there was a bucket, like one bucket full of water, and they just pulled a string, whatever, and that one bucket was their shower.
Wow.
Just getting to that point, they said it wasn't worth it. I think I remember after the third day, they were like, okay, it's just not.
it. Right.
It's just not worth it. But the women ages were between 35 and 53 years old. And kudos to those women. I mean, they're so inspiring to take on this big, huge adventure, and succeed at it and make history. It was really inspiring.
That's amazing.
I know when you sent that story, I was like, this is so amazing to have that age gap, to have these women to like undertake a journey like that. Like, so many people would never do that. And so I just say kudos to them too. Like, I wish they would do, I would need some training. I wouldn't be able to I wouldn't be able to do the altitudes like that in the like I think it's cold too, right?
You would have to prepare somehow.
Yeah. And they did. They did train. They said that a few of them were on Martha's Vineyard, which is, here where I am, Massachusetts. So a few of them came to Martha's Vineyard this summer, and they would hike together to build up their endurance, to train. And some of them, actually, a couple of them, Patia, were in New York, and she would train by walking to do all of her errands versus versus driving or taking the train, and that built up her endurance. The last thing I'll say is what a cool way to celebrate. It was one of their 50th birthday celebrations.
Wow,
celebrated her 50th
That's amazing
birthday was taking this trip. And I forget they already identified their next big adventure. I forgot what they're planning on going. But let's give it. We have Yvonne on, Hey, Yvonne, thanks for being here. And then what is it takes a village? Yes.
Yes, literally. To
Cheryl,
carry
Totally
on.
right, Cheryl.
yes, it does. And what is it? We do
We
overpack.
do overpack.
Yes,
This is
yes.
I can attest to that because
I'm sure all the men
Yeah.
cringed. All the men who saw that said, "Oh Lord, there's my wife."
Well, it's so we do. We when Daniel and I travel, he'll have his little carry-on
Little bag. Yep.
case. He's like, D, what's in those bags? Like, it's what I need. What do you mean?
exactly. You always need it. But do you know if they are a group? Like, are they a group that like does this on a regular basis? Like,
Some of them didn't
this
even
is-
know each other. That one, the one who turned 50, she was a connection between all of them, but some of them didn't even know each other.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
We
No,
should try it. We should try it. You guys
I
wanna,
would like that. No, I'm not serious. There's no way I'm trying that.
I would, but I guess I guess that's a no.
Small baby step. Let's start off small with something else.
Yes, that I would do. That I would do. That I would do. Barika, yes. Oh my gosh, this is quite the topic.
Yeah, so I mean, you'd have to be living under a rock if you haven't heard what's going on with Mr. Kanye West. And so we had to deal with it because there was no other way for us to get past the brand rewind moment of this. So Ye, or as he likes to be called, is in the news again and again, and it's not for anything positive. And I know it's hard for us to keep up with everything, so we're gonna try and shed a little light with it today, because they happen daily. However, Kanye has come under fire because not only of the many posts, his violent posts against Pete David, his tasteless comments against his ex-wife Kim, also the White Lives Matter t-shirts that him and Candace Owens wore at the Paris fashion show. But he's also come under fire now, and I think this was the straw that actually broke the camel's back. And his recent spate of anti-Semitic posts that he shared on Instagram and Twitter. And, thankfully, the internet never forgets. And while the post may be deleted, someone always captures it. And so this was the post that he posted. I'm a bit sleepy tonight, but when I wake up, I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. The funny thing is, I actually can't be anti-Semitic because Black people are actually Jew. Also, you guys have toyed with me and tried to blackball whoever opposes your agenda. Yeah. So the rant that he had here actually got him suspended on Twitter, and he was already on suspension off of Instagram the week prior for another post that he had. And if you notice, he used a military term called DEFCON 3, which, if you're not familiar, is the term with 5 levels to denote the intensity of a national security threat.
Oh my God.
So, go ahead. Do you have a question? So Ye, after the fallout of all this, decided, of course, he was going to buy Parler, which is a Twitter-like social media app that has become a haven for conservatives. But also, he wanted to be able to freely express himself online. Now, because of all of the fallout and everything that has happened, there have been so many brands that have dropped him, from Balenciaga, Foot Locker, his own representation on CAA dropped him, MRC, which was the film development company that he was working with for his documentary, TJ Maxx, and finally Adidas even dropped him. There were so many companies that actually chimed in on this. And ladies, I have to say, even today, like it's so much to unpack because his anti-Semitic remarks caused the shutdown of Donda West Academy for the rest of the school year. So they took that away from him. And he posted on Instagram, which is now deleted. Here's the clout you're looking for. My school is being shut down. We can all thank TMZ for capturing that. They found that and shared that with us today. But honestly, ladies, I don't even know where to begin with this, because we haven't discussed his mental health issues, which many people are blaming for his behavior, or the fact that CNN did an exclusive report like 6 hours ago with people that worked with Kanye, who said that he's had a long fascination with Adolf Hitler, and these anti-Semitic remarks are not
Really?
actually one-off, but part of the fact that he really admires Hitler. And also, let's not forget that today, this morning, Kanye West went into the offices of Skechers unannounced, without an appointment, and a film crew
with the film crew.
and had to be escorted out. So I'm sure it has to do with him losing over $2 billion literally in a day. But I hope that that there is hope for his brand. But let's not focus on that, because Kanye is he's gonna Kanye. I want to talk about the brands that actually spoke out and dropped the toxic ambassador, and how they're going to do a brand rewind. And in particular, Adidas, who took a long time to actually make that decision, because they, in essence, were going to lose a $250 million by dropping him and getting out of the deal. The fact that they took so long has a lot of people upset with them about, well, like, for some of the brands it was immediate, but with them they took longer. Do you think that they are in need of a brand rewind because of the amount of time that it took for them to come to the decision to let Kanye go?
Well, it's my former employer, so just full transparency. I used to work for the Adidas Group, and when Kanye made the comment a couple days or the day before that happened, when he's during a podcast when he said Adidas is never going to drop me, or Adidas is going to drop me, I remember thinking Adidas is going to drop you, because no brand wants to be taunted like that. And he really did taunt them into that. They were facing, so even separate from that, they probably just got pissed off that somebody was saying that they weren't going to drop them. Like, who does he think he is? Yeah, we're going to drop him. But I think before that, because weren't there, and I don't know, I can't remember the details, but didn't someone famous didn't wear their Adidas shoes somewhere? So it was starting to take hold that people were going to start like protesting and stop wearing and stop buying Adidas product. They saw, even though they're going to take that $250 million hit just this year alone, the next quarter, I think, or this quarter, I think when they announce their earnings report, they're going to show a big hit. But the hit to their brand wasn't worth it, and they saw
not at all. Not at all.
I mean, I think Adidas is a very long-standing upward brand that, is very fashion forward, very thoughtful in what they try and put out there. So I was like, I am sitting here waiting. I think we were talking about that when we were planning to talk about this. It's like, when is it going to happen? And finally we heard it, and we're like, okay, it's about time. Because you're right, there were people on Instagram and Facebook that were showing their yays on fire. Because that's kind of like, that's how people were feeling about the Ye brand and kind of everything that he was bringing to the table, and the toxicness that he was kind of like sharing with the world. So I definitely think that all the brands associated with him, unfortunately, for whatever reason, he decided to take this route and do this. I definitely think they do need to think about, like, if there are any brands. I don't know who's still associated with him.
Right.
Well, you know who is Spotify.
You're right.
They're saying they're not going to drop him unless his record label, but the record label to his record label dropped him already. Now his label, which is his record label. So Spotify, which I don't understand this, Spotify saying, well, when his record label drops him, we'll drop him. But it's his record label.
Yeah, good music is his record label.
Right.
It's his record label. So okay, Spotify, nice hiding behind that, but that's just not going to happen.
Well, Spotify was also the one that, with Joe Rogan and that whole fiasco, also didn't do anything. So that's kind of their brand.
Yeah. It is.
They hide behind it. They have to hide behind it. They don't want to lose that money either.
Yeah, no. We could talk about this. This was one of the subjects in my class today. We talked about Kanye because I teach writing for PR. at a university here, and I like to talk about real life stories and ask my students, okay, if you were to write a press release or press statement, or you were a publicist for X, Y, and Z, how would you message this or spin this? So we had a great discussion. It is definitely water cooler talk all over the
everywhere.
Everywhere.
definitely to be continued for sure. I want to, yes, Barika, let's get to some of the comments because there are quite a few comments up here.
Adidas would be impacted by retailers, suppliers, and the whole ecosystem would have created greater. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, beyond the 250. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. And what else? I just saw something else before that. Oh, time to cancel. I think that's happening. I think that's happening.
It definitely took a while, but I don't know why it didn't happen earlier, but I'm definitely happy now that, I mean, he's being silenced, but with Elon buying Twitter, anything can happen, you guys.
Well, and he's about to cut 70%. I can't imagine that's true.
70% of the employees.
Yeah, I think somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't even know how that can happen, but who knows? All right, we are past our time because we got so caught up in all these great stories, and someone did post, and thank you so much. We did get a comment that these are great stories we were bringing today to talk about. So thank you for that. We do try to find, the four of us, we do try to find stories that we think will be of interest to you and that we can really sink our teeth in as well. So appreciate the compliment on that because we have fun. We have fun bringing these stories to you. So we are wrapping up. So how are they going to find us, ladies? How can they
Yes. So you guys, we have a goal that I need you to help us to reach. We need to have 100 email subscribers by December 31st. And we're at 80. So please, you guys are already in our email list. Share with your friends. Please have them sign up at brandrewind.com and help us get to 100 subscribers. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Brand Rewind.
And be sure to catch our next edition of Brand Rewind live on Thursday, November the 10th at 8 p.m. Eastern.
And 5 p.m. And 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Yeah.
5 p.m. Yeah, 5 and 8. And we are pleased that we're going to bring you another special edition on November 10th of Brand Rewind. We will be joined by a special guest. He is Suffolk County Sheriff, Suffolk County, Boston, Massachusetts. Sheriff Steve Tompkins is going to join us live. We're going to dish on different brands, including his own. And we're going to talk about the brands of inmates. The brands of inmates. Can inmates rebuild their brand? We're going to have a really good discussion around that. So until then, November 10th, set your timer, set your clock, set whatever you need to so you don't forget to join us. And we'll see you then. Enjoy. Stay safe, guys. Bye.
Bye, guys. Have a great day.